Hey, JulesBlessedVegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So this is part 2 on why laughter is the best medicine. And I will connect part 1 in case you missed it. And it's all based on a really fantastic article, which of course I will include in the description of the video. What I loved today was that we had a professional development training to get ready for our school year. And the focus was humor. The focus was incorporating jokes to keep the kids, with their mental puzzles, just silly rhymes, jokes, like all the fun things. I majored in creativity, and so it was right up my alley. I was thrilled that the district was supporting the idea of just keeping the kids smiling, as much as possible. So yesterday I ended with this, and I'll say it was use humor to resolve disagreements and tension in your relationship. And it read, laughter is an especially powerful tool for managing conflict and reducing tension when emotions are running high. Whether with romantic partners, friends and family, or co-workers, you can learn to use humor to smooth over disagreements, and that's a hyperlink. Lower everyone's stress level and communicate in a way that builds up your relationships rather than breaking them down. Okay, so the next subheading is how to bring more laughter into your life. I mean, it's enough to talk about it, but can they actually give us tools to do it? So this is so important. It says laughter is your birthright, a natural part of life that is innate and inborn. Infants begin smiling during the first weeks of life. Some would argue it's gas, right? Do you hear that? During the first weeks of life, and laugh out loud within months of being born. It's true. Now that we have, 4D imaging, and they can actually you see little babies smiling in the womb. Have you seen that? It's fabulous. Even if you did not grow up in a household where laughter was a common sound, you can learn to laugh at any stage of life. That's brilliant. Begin by setting aside special times to seek out humor and laughter, as you might with exercising, and build from there. Eventually, you'll want to incorporate humor and laughter into the fabric of your life, finding it naturally in everything. And here are some ways to start. Count your blessings. Literally make a list. The simple act of considering the positive aspects of your life will distance you from negative thoughts that block humor and laughter. When you're in a state of sadness, you have further to travel to reach humor and laughter. Of course, right? Number 2, when you hear laughter, move toward it. Unless it's super creepy and by a clown. I couldn't resist. Sometimes humor and laughter are private, a shared joke among a small group, but usually not. Most often, people are very happy to share something funny because it gives them an opportunity to laugh again and feed off the humor you find in it. When you hear laughter, seek it out and ask, what's so funny? Of course. Number 3, spend time with fun, playful people. These are people who laugh easily, both at themselves and at life's absurdities, and who routinely find the humor in everyday events. Their playful point of view and laughter are contagious. Even if you don't consider yourself a lighthearted, humorous person, you can still seek out people who like to laugh and make others laugh. Every comedian appreciates an audience. Number 4, bring humor into conversations. Ask people, what's the funniest thing that happened to you today, this week, or in your life? And of course, when they share those stories, it'll bring up the laughter, right? I love it. Okay. Subheading, simulated laughter. Simulated, like as in artificial and generated, right? So what if you really can't find the funny? Believe it or not, it's possible to laugh without experiencing a funny event. And simulated laughter can be just as beneficial as the real thing. Oh my gosh, you are not kidding. Like, have you seen those memes and things where a little baby is giggling? And all of a sudden, you can't stop either. I mean, for me, pretty much, even if someone's being super obnoxious, if laughter starts, inevitably, I will be joining in. Like, you just can't help it. So it says, it can even make exercise more fun and productive. A Georgia State University study found that incorporating bouts of simulated laughter into an exercise program helped improve older adults' mental health as well as their aerobic endurance. Plus, hearing others laugh, even for no apparent reason, can often trigger it's you want to laugh to just think about laughter. Like, seriously. It can trigger genuine laughter. To add simulated laughter into your own life, search for laugh yoga or laugh therapy groups. Or you can start simply by laughing at other people's jokes, even if you don't find them funny. Both you and the other person will feel good. It will draw you closer together, and who knows, it may even lead to some spontaneous laughter. All right, creating opportunities to laugh. You can actually, when it's said, like, intentionally make a list of things you're grateful for and things you can intentionally make opportunities to laugh. You'll get better at it. I promise. Sorry. It's just when I'm tired, I can't help but laugh. And, like, laughter just makes me laugh. Oh, my gosh. I'm like, even the thought of it. Sorry, I am going to calm down and get through this because I still have a ton of homework. Okay, watch a funny movie, TV show, or YouTube video. Invite friends or coworkers out to a comedy club. Read funny pages. Seek out funny people. Share a good joke or funny story. Check out your bookstore's humor section. Again, I suggested like the Hallmark cards of humor. Host game night with friends. Play with a pet. Go to a laughter yoga class. I am not familiar. Goof around with children. Do something silly. Or make time for fun activities like bowling, miniature golfing, karaoke. All right, so some tips for developing your own sense of humor. An essential ingredient for developing your sense of humor is to learn not to take yourself too seriously and to laugh at your own mistakes and hold on. Foibles. God, that's a tough one for me. I had to think about tin foil and how to say foil and then BL. So foibles, okay? As much as we'd like to believe otherwise, we all do foolish things from time to time. Instead of feeling embarrassed or defensive, embrace your imperfections. While some events in life are clearly sad and not opportunities for laughter, most don't carry an overwhelming sense of either sadness or delight. They fall into the gray zone of ordinary life, giving you the choice to laugh or not. So choose to laugh whenever you can. How to develop your sense of humor? Laugh at yourself. Share your embarrassing moments. The best way to take yourself less seriously is to talk about times when you took yourself too seriously. Attempt to laugh at situations rather than bemoan them. Look for the humor in a bad situation and uncover the irony and absurdity of life. When something negative happens, try to make it a humorous anecdote that will make others laugh. Surround yourself with reminders to lighten up. Keep a toy on your desk or in your car. Put up a funny poster in your office. Choose a computer screensaver that makes you laugh, or frame photos of you and family and friends having fun. Oh, I love that last one. So precious. You know, it was interesting. One of the activities today was you had to find a conversation buddy, and it was an inanimate object because we don't know where children will be doing their work. And so I just had this little bunny eraser because it was the quickest thing I could get. And throughout the day, I had to talk with the bunny eraser and tell it about my day and tell me about what I thought and da-da-da. And that little bunny became my friend, but that's really funny. So I kind of get that. Next one, remember funny things that happen. If something amusing happens or you hear a joke or a funny story you really like, write it down and tell it to someone to help you remember it. Oh, God, like so many. Don't dwell on negative, which I majored in. Try to avoid negative people and don't dwell on news stories, entertainment, or conversations that make you sad or unhappy. Many things in life are beyond your control, particularly the behavior of other people. While you might view carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders as admirable, in the long run, it's unrealistic and unhealthy, as in, there is a God and I'm not him. I have to remind myself that all the time. Find your inner child. Pay attention to children and try to emulate them. After all, they are the experts on playing, taking life lightly, and laughing at ordinary things. I was a serious child in many ways. And I think it's because I was just hypersensitive. I picked up on all of it. But when I could, I allowed myself to laugh. Okay, deal with stress. Stress can be a major impediment to humor and laughter, so it's important to keep your stress levels in check. One great technique to relieve stress in the moment, and that's a hyperlink, is to draw upon a favorite memory that always makes you smile. something your kids did, for example, or something funny a friend told you. Don't go a day without laughing. Think of it like exercise or breakfast, to make a conscious effort to find something each day that makes you laugh. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes and do something that amuses you. The more you get used to laughing each day, the less effort you'll have to make. All right, next hyperlink, and forgive me, subheading, using humor to overcome challenges and enhance your life. The ability to laugh, play, and have fun not only makes life more enjoyable, but also helps you solve problems, connect with others, and think more creatively. People who incorporate humor and play into their daily lives find that it renews them and all their relationships. Life brings challenges that can either get the best of you or become playthings for your imagination. When you become the problem and take yourself too seriously, it can be hard to think outside the box and find new solutions. So true. But when you play with the problem, you can often transform it into an opportunity for creative learning. Playing with problems seems to come naturally to children. When they're confused or afraid, they make their problems into a game, giving them a sense of control and an opportunity to experiment with new solutions. Interacting with others in playful ways helps you retain this creative ability. Oh my gosh, isn't that so important? I just think, like, at what point did we become too paranoid or self-aware to dare to take a risk, right? So they give 2 quick examples of how people turn something around, but I just have to tell something, and I'm not going to tell the whole story. But when I got married, right, my husband, who was so beautiful, was waiting for me at the top of the church, of course, up at the altar, crying, okay? He was so moved by the experience. He had tears coming down his face. Well, right before I entered the church, I unexpectedly saw a friend that I had no idea showed up. She'd actually flown out from, like, Boston. And I was so surprised to see her, and and she made an offhanded comment that totally made me laugh. And I was already, like, had way too much excitement. I was nervous. Like, I giggle when I'm tired. I giggle when I'm nervous. I giggle when I'm excited. Like, I'm a giggler, okay? And she made this offhanded comment. I held it together for a moment while my father was just starting to walk me up the aisle. And, like, I was probably 10 feet in, and it just struck me as very funny. Excuse me. It struck me as very funny. I was super nervous anyway, and I started to giggle. Well, it was like a wave. You know when they do the wave at the football games? It was a wave of laughter. The entire congregation, it started in the back and it just started traveling up front. And by the time I got to the front, the entire place was laughing their heads off. Not my husband. I keep pausing either because my dogs are barking or because I'm sneezing, but everyone was laughing hysterically. Not my husband, okay? Even to this day, he still says, why was I crying and you were laughing your head off? Oh my gosh. It set the tone for the whole wedding. Like, the entire ceremony was full of laughter and giggles, and it was lovely. But oh my goodness. Not so much for him, but it was brilliant. Okay, and contagious. That's my point. So contagious. All right, so these are 2 examples of people who took everyday problems and turned them into laughter and play. One is Roy. A semi-retired businessman was excited to finally have time to devote to golf. I'm still having trouble talking with these Invisalign. Sorry. That's me making a joke out of a difficult situation. All right. His favorite sport, but the more he played, the less he enjoyed himself. Oh, God, don't you get that, man, when you overly focus on something you thought you loved? Although his game had improved dramatically, he got angry with himself over every mistake. Roy wisely realized that his golfing buddies affected his attitude. So he stopped playing with people who took the game too seriously, like go to miniature golf, right? When he played with friends who focused more on having fun than on their scores, he was less critical of himself. Now golfing wasn't as enjoyable as Roy had envisioned. He scored better without working harder, and the brighter outlook he was gaining from his companions and the game spread to other parts of his life. Yay, Roy. Okay, Jane worked at home designing greeting cards, a job she used to love but now felt had become routine. Two little girls who loved to draw and paint lived next door. Eventually, Jane invited the girls over to play with all of her art supplies. At first, she just watched, but in time she joined in, laughing, coloring, and playing pretend with the little girls transformed Jane's life. Not only did it end her loneliness and boredom, but it sparked her imagination and helped her artwork flourish. Best of all, it rekindled the playfulness in Jane's relationship with her husband. What? I love that. All right, here's the conclusion. As laughter, humor, and play become integrated into your life, your creativity will flourish, and new opportunities for laughing with friends, coworkers, acquaintances, and loved ones will occur to you daily. Laughter takes you to a higher place where you can view the world from a more relaxed, positive, and joyful perspective. Love that. I love that. Okay, like I suggested, I will totally leave this in the description of the video. I can't elaborate on the wedding story. You'll just have to trust me that what Brenda said, may she rest in peace, was beyond. It was beyond. Okay, so again, laughter is the best medicine. And it is. Okay, I'm feeling better already. I was distraught between that and rebounding, right? Okay, rebounding for physical, laughter for the spirit and soul. But yeah, I was thinking, oh God, it's already 10 o'clock. I still have a ton of work. Well, now that I've been laughing and talking for a couple of minutes, I feel reinvigorated. I can do it. All right, like if you like doing this, if you haven't, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below how I may support you, even with laughter. And until we talk again, my friends, best of all, know that you're blessed.